Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see, I am reading for Jhene Aiko. I am so honoured, excited, thrilled to be doing this reading. Until not that long ago, I didn't know too much about Jhene, and even up until recently, like a day ago when I began to meditate on her energy, I had never heard a lot of her music. The reason I know Jhene Aiko is because of her spirituality, and that's the part of her that I adore, love, idolise, look up to. So as you can see, we have a lot of crystals and white candles because that is her energy. So before I go into this reading for Jhene, I just want to say, if you are interested in having a reading with me, we are so close. Thank you for your patience. I am so close to just having everything ready, and I am so excited. Please email me at kirstieLewisreadings@outlook.com and just say, please add me to the waiting list, or please notify me when the readings are available. And once they are, I'll send you over a price list and what is available and how to book. So that is how you do that. I will leave that in the description box below as well. That's kirstieLewisreadings@outlook.com. So I held a poll, as always, over on my Instagram at I am Kirstie Lewis, asking whether you wanted to see me read for Jhene Aiko or Britney Spears, and Jhene won, and I was secretly very happy about that. It was a very close call, but if you want to be involved with who I read for next, then head over to my Instagram and follow me over there. But without further ado, let's get into reading for Jhene. Okay, before I pick any cards, I've got a few things that I want to say, because a few things came through to me whilst meditating for Jhene. The very first thing that came through was the fact that Jhene is going to, in the next 2 years, be in a power couple. There is a strong relationship coming for her, and there's a marriage coming. I did ask if it was Big Sean, and I'm being told potentially, so I don't know if they're ready to tell me whether it is, but my inkling would be yes, because I could see them in a marriage ceremony together. A very hippie marriage, I think it's a marriage on the beach. I could see her in a white flowing dress with like a flower headband around her head, so a very spiritual ceremony. I do feel like there is also another pregnancy to come for Jhene, and I do feel like it's a baby boy, but that again wasn't certified. As I began to really tap into that kind of energy of this relationship, Nipsey Hussle came into the equation, and he came into the energy. And I just want to say that at the moment, even though she hasn't been as vocal about it as everybody else, she is hurting, and she is trying to heal herself at the moment. Now, Jhene is very spiritual, she is very self-aware, and she has the tools to enable herself to heal herself. And Nipsey just wanted to come in and say a few things. The first words he said to me were, "Little sis." I'd just like to clarify something, lovelies. As I always tell you, once I read for someone, I go and I research them. And I've just discovered that Jhene Aiko lost a brother. Nipsey Hussle's energy was 100% there, but I heard clearly "little sis," and I thought that that had come from Nipsey Hussle, and it all makes sense now, okay? The little sis, I think, came from her brother. I didn't realise she had lost a brother. I've just realised and put 2 and 2 together. I think they both came through together. I think Nipsey Hussle and Jhene Aiko's brother came through together, and I think he said the little sis, and I think Jhene Aiko saw her brother in Nipsey Hussle, which is why they came through as such a close energy to her. So when she lost Nipsey Hussle as an older brother figure, it was like she had lost her brother again, and it rekindled those feelings of grief. And so I just wanted to put that in there, because it made it very clear to me when I saw that, so I wanted to make it clear to you. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. So I don't know if she was younger than him, but I feel like they had a very brotherly, sisterly relationship. And he just said, "Little sis," he said, "I'm so grateful, thank you." He wanted to thank her for being there for his family and for supporting Lauren. I don't know how she's done that, but I think she has helped in some way behind the scenes. There was also a thankful and a gratitude for the performance at his funeral, because he's saying he knew how difficult that was, and he wanted to thank her specifically for that because it took a lot of strength. He has also said he is helping to bring this relationship to her because she deserves it, and that is all he wanted to step in and say. I felt his energy coming very quick, and actually before he came in, there were cards flying out. Like I had the Hermit come out, which is about retreating after pain and, you know, wanting to protect yourself and heal yourself and look after yourself. And I was told it was due to a passing of a friend, and until Nipsey came in I didn't really put the two and two together, but of course she is still healing from that loss. We're going to get into reading for Jhene now, and what's going on with her and how she is. So the first cards I want to pull for Jhene are the tarot cards. I'm going to read for all decks. As we know, Jhene is very spiritual, so everything is literally on the table today. Jhene Aiko. Jhene, yeah. Oh, how funny, that flipped over when I was, the Page of Cups flipped over when I was shuffling beforehand, so we will take that. Jhene. Okay. I also feel that Jhene is currently writing, so there's new music and a new album or EP to come from Jhene as well. And for some reason I was being pulled a lot to awards, because I don't feel like Jhene's ever been given the recognition for her music, and her music is, I don't know if any of you have listened to her music, but my gosh, her music is above any other music that is being produced at the moment. The healing, the spiritualness, the love. So I do feel like she's finally going to get some recognition with this new album that she deserves. So Jhene, what's going on at the moment with Jhene? What's going on at the moment with Jhene? I also, weirdly enough, kept being drawn to Jhene's... See, I don't know how you say her name. I say Jhene. Is it Jhene or is it Jhene? I like to say Jhene. I'm being drawn to her dad. I don't know if her dad has passed over or there is a distance in relationship, but he's not close, and I feel like there's some father healing there to be done. So, Jhene. Oh. That flipped over as well. Jhene. Okay. Jhene. The Hermit card. See, I told you. When I was shuffling, this card flipped over a lot. She is definitely retreating, trying to heal herself from a bit of pain, because I feel like she has been through a little bit of pain. Queen of Cups. Okay. I feel like Jhene is the Queen of Cups, to be honest. That is her card. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. The Five of Wands talks about having diligence and being tested. Okay. Now, Jhene, I asked, what is the reason that, what does Jhene struggle with in a relationship? Because to me, with her spiritual awareness, sometimes as a spiritualist and someone who is very spiritual, you can struggle more than people would think you would, and it's because you're very sensitive to things. She is an empath, she is an introvert, and she's very, very sensitive. I think she's also, is she a Cancer sign? I think. She's very emotional and she's very, very sensitive. And the relationship with Big Sean tested her, because it was constantly like, you're not taking my feelings into consideration, you're not taking my feelings seriously. Sometimes her feelings were being, you know, over dramatized, and that I can understand that, because as, you know, an empath and a very sensitive person and a spiritualist, yes, we are very sensitive, and when we feel something, we don't just feel it on a surface level, we feel it to the extreme. And I feel like Jhene is very much the same. When she feels something, it's very passionate, it's very, I feel this way, and, you know, you need to take how I feel seriously, and if you don't take it seriously, I'm offended and you're hurting my feelings even more. And I feel like that's what it was, because I feel like with Big Sean, it's very, everything is brushed off the shoulder, everything is, you know, very blasé. He's not very like that. I don't feel like he's a very deep character in that sense, and so they test each other, and because of that they also butt heads. because he's like, well, you're overreacting, you're taking this to an extreme that it doesn't need to go to. And she's like, no, you're not taking my feelings seriously enough. And so their relationship, it does test each other, but in a weird way they also balance each other out because they're so different. But it definitely was a test. Now the Eight of Cups talks about having a change of heart, okay? In this line of things here, I'm going to have to pull another pile because I'm not too sure where this stands. Because in one sense, I want to say this is where they ended the relationship. But in another sense, I want to say it was also where they decided to give it another go. The reason I'm not sure as to which one it means is because down here we've also got the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords talks about endings. Specifically, you know, relationships that fall apart and having closure, and knowing that you'll recover and new opportunities will come around. And after that we've got the King of Pentacles, which okay, no, they've just clarified that for me. Okay, that's absolutely fine, because when I was shuffling before, a lot of these cards came out. This card came out, this card came out, this card came out, this card came out, and this card came out. So they are definitely cards for Jhene. Her energy is very strong. When I say people's energy is very strong, I don't mean it means that they're tough and it means that I can really tap into their energy because it's very open. So what this means here is they decided to end the relationship. It was for the best, because they had to go off and see if they could be without each other and see if they could live without each other, which they can't. King of Pentacles for me does represent Big Sean. I don't know a lot about Big Sean, if anything at all. But I know that as soon as I pulled this card, this represents him, because I do feel like he is very strong in mind. He's very dependable. I do feel like he is quite a responsible man, and I do feel like he's not one to play around. When he is committed, he's committed, and they are actually very good together, and I do feel like they could marry. And I do feel like they could have a baby as well, and I do feel like they could be a power couple. So I feel like this is actually really nice and really lovely. So, okay, it's so nice when you read and you see good things. It's nice. Right, Ace of Pentacles talks about material success. So like I said, the next album for Jhene is going to do very, very well. I do feel like it will be award credited. So, I don't know, a Grammy, a Brit, I don't know all the, a Mobo, I don't know all the, are the Mobos still going? I don't know all of the award names, but I do feel like it will be recognised where her work hasn't been too recognised before. And the reason I also know that this is great news for her and Big Sean is because we've got the Page of Cups, which talks about guidance, and it also talks about good news about a relationship. This also talks about artistic influence and being inspired. What it does talk about, and just some advice for them, because in this relationship I feel like they're both so much in their feelings and they can run away with that, which is fine. We're in a loving relationship here, you know, it is about feelings, but there also needs to be a practicalness that they need to look at. So where are we going with this? And I feel like they have looked at that, and I feel like that's why they took the step away. Can this work? Where will this go? What is, you know, can we make this work? Because I also feel like there is a distance in where they live. I could be entirely wrong, but it was almost like, because I also feel like one of the challenges that they actually had was, can we live together in the same house? Can I live with you? Can you live with me? And I feel like that presented a little bit of a challenge, but I do feel like they overcame it, and they will move in together. Not so much straight away, because I feel like at the moment they're still building up the foundations, but I do see good things for them both. Now, Queen of Cups for me talks about Jhene as a person. The Queen of Cups is first of all a water sign, so I do feel like she is a water sign. Is she she's a Pisces or a Cancer? I can't remember which one. Either way, she's a water sign, so her emotions are full. Very emotional, very sensitive, very loving, very nurturing, very maternal. Okay, she is one of those people that is very Mother Earth. Okay, very born to be a mum, took to being a mum very naturally. She has her moments, don't get me wrong, she's not perfect, okay, but she tries to work on herself as much as possible. Okay. The Hermit card. Now I do feel like if any card was to represent her energy right now, it's the Hermit card. She is trying to heal, because I feel like over the past year, and I do want to give it a span of a year, a lot happened. A lot happened within that relation. I don't know how long they were together. I actually don't know how long they were together, but her and Big Sean. But a lot happened that hurt her, that because she was in it at the time, she couldn't step back and evaluate and look at her life and think, you know, because she was in it. And it takes coming out of something to step back and think, okay, well, where could I have done better, and where could I have improved? And she's very good at that. She's very good at looking at herself and critiquing herself, not in a damaging way, in a way that she said, you know, she says, I love myself and I want to do better. And I just feel like that's where we are right now. I feel like she's locked away writing. I know she's abroad right now, and I do feel like that's part of her healing process. And she just wants to protect her energy and almost curl up into a little cocoon and write everything out. And the next album, guys, it's going to be it's just going to be. Right, Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords, like I said, it talks about endings, and that to me, again, it was the ending of this cycle here, because the cycle before, it wasn't like bad, it was just a little bit painful, and I feel like we've come to the end of that now, the end of how the relationship was with Big Sean, and we're moving forward into now how it's going to be. And I do feel, like I said, the King of Pentacles, I do feel like that strongly represents his energy. The King of Pentacles, it talks about someone who's a natural problem solver, someone who is good with money. I do feel like Big Sean is good with money. I don't feel like he has, I mean, I know he's got money. I don't feel like compared to a lot of other people he has a ton of money, but the money he has, he's very good with it. It's someone who can be relied upon. He is basically someone who, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. And I do feel like he is that kind of person. He is someone who was made to be a husband, someone who is made to be a father, because he follows through. When he says he's going to do something, he will do it. And that he's very logical. He thinks from his head rather than his heart. Whereas Miss Jhene, Miss Jhene thinks from her heart rather than her head. And that's the clash that they have. But it can work because they balance each other out. They're that yin and yang, and it works. I do see a happiness for them. I do see a happy ending for them because they're here together. And it's actually really nice. It's actually really, really nice. And he, to me, I don't know a lot about Big Sean, but the energy I get from him, he seems like a genuinely nice guy. And I feel like they, like I said, they balance each other out very, very, very well. Okay, so I know that kind of sums everything up really, but we will just see, because I do want to clarify whether the marriage and the pregnancy is there. So will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Okay, that's too out, so we'll take that. Will Jhene Aiko be, oh my gosh, they're all just flying out, married and pregnant with Big Sean? Will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? I'm just getting yes, honestly. Okay, so we'll pick 4 from each pile. Will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Guys, you know I need to get a bigger table. Will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Okay. Will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Okay. Okay. Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? See, I should have turned these over when I laid them down, because now I have to go through the trouble of turning them over and lifting them up. Didn't think that one through, did I? Will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Okay, will Jhene Aiko be married and pregnant with Big Sean? Okay, well, there we go. Right, let's see. Let's do this little puzzle now, because I've got to try and turn all these over. Okay, we'll do it like this. 10 of Swords. Okay, 10 of Swords. Life force. Pregnancy. Turn on the light. Okay, right. 9 of Wands. Inner strength. Okay. You are safe. Okay. Sorry, this must be so painful to watch. But Judgment. Okay. Ancestor spirit. I'm not surprised to see that. And talk to God. Okay. 2 of Pentacles. Karma releasing and dare to be happy. Okay. Okay. I am surprised not to see the Empress card, because sorry, just sipping some water there. I do honestly believe there is a pregnancy. I just do. Okay, so I'm going to do it line by line. So here we have the 10 of Swords, Serenus, life force, aka fertility and pregnancy, and turn on the light. 10 of Swords, as we've discussed, talks about endings, and I do feel like there may have been some discussions, like I said, can we live together? Can we have a family together? Can we do this? Yes, we can, because the life force card is there, which basically means if we are trying for a baby, fertility is possible. There is going to be a pregnancy with Jhene Aiko, and I do feel like it will be with Big Sean. Turn on the light. I do feel like her light was dimmed with recent experiences, both the ending of the relationship and with the passing of Nipsey Hussle. The passing of Nipsey Hussle affected Jhene Aiko deeply, and she is still healing from it, but she will get there. It will all be fine. And I feel like this pregnancy won't be, you know, a surprise. It's something they are planning for. So I do feel like she's ready to. Actually, I'm going to bring these down because I need the space. I do feel like she's ready to be a mum again. Right, what have we got here? We have got the 9 of Wands, Bridget, and you are safe. Okay. There is a certain, and I don't want to say a lot because I don't feel like Jhene Aiko gets stressed easily, but there is a certain element of pressure that she feels on herself at the moment, okay? 9 of Wands talks about having pressure on yourself, but having the mentality, the inner strength to say, I can do this, I can handle this, and prioritising her time in a way that works for her. So although there's a lot of things going on for her at the moment, because I do feel like a lot of opportunities are coming in. Now, Jhene Aiko is not one to start a clothing line or start, do you know what I mean? But I feel like there are album deadlines and there are things she wants to do and things she wants to achieve. I feel like there's charitable work she wants to do, and I feel like there's so much she wants to do that the pressure might come a little bit from herself, but she has the inner strength to get through it. There's also, like I said, she's been through a little bit of a rocky period, and so there's a little bit of just a teeny bit of anxiety. Nothing major, it's not severe, it's just a feeling of being unsettled. And there's just a little reminder from Spirit there to say, you're okay, you're safe, we've got you. And in the next pile here it actually says talk to God. So just, you know, it's just a little reminder to her to say, we've got you, don't panic, don't worry, I've got your back, okay? Another reason I can confirm that her and Big Sean are okay is because we've got the Judgment card here. Now, the Judgment card talks about reconciliation and relationships being repaired. It also talks about family growth, and I do see her coming together now to build that family unit. Whereas it's just been her and her daughter for a really long time, it's now going to be a family unit, as it were, with a a mum and a dad and children in one house, and I do feel like the move will be into her house. I don't see her going anywhere because her home is very sacred. I actually see her expanding her house because I don't feel like she lives in an extravagantly massive house. I really don't, but her own space is very crucial for her. So I do feel like she'll be building onto the house so that when Big Sean does move in, he has his own space and she has her own space, because that's very important to her. But 100% Judgment card talks about relationships being repaired, coming back together, new beginnings, new growth, families growing, pregnancy. Lastly, we've got talk to God. So it's just a reminder for her and for anyone watching this, if you've got any concerns, worries, write them down, burn them, release them, surrender them, let them go. Just, even if you just talk them out, and that's to whoever you believe in, Buddha, Allah, God, universe, higher source, higher energy, whatever you believe in, just say, this is how I'm feeling right now, help me. Just let it go. And I feel like that's what she's been doing, and there has been a lot of meditation and everything like that, but no surprise there, because like I said, it's an extremely spiritual girl, and I feel like that's something she's always done. But there is a lot of success coming to her, and I do feel like I said, the awards and the recognition is coming her way. We've got the Two of Pentacles here. This to me just talks about, like I said earlier when I said there was an extreme debate on whether they could live together. The Two of Pentacles talks about sharing workloads and balances in the household. So I do feel like that again is just, there's still some doubts in her mind, can this work? Because we've got the card here saying dare to be happy, just go with it, it's okay. And yeah, okay, there's a real fear with her that she'll get hurt, because I do feel, like I said, she's been hurt badly in the past by men, and it could just be like the most simplest thing, because she's so sensitive and she's such an empath, and you know, she's a water sign, her emotions are extremely sensitive. It's very easy for her to get hurt, and that's a big fear of hers. And we've got Saint Germain here just saying karma is releasing. Move beyond drama, which I would take as move beyond that fear, create your own path and make room for good energy, and dare to be happy, let it go. Even if, you know, you have to compromise on something and you have to do the dishes more than he has, and you know, just the good in this relationship outweighs the bad. So just let it go, Jhene, and just let yourself be happy, because this relationship, I'm going to tell you something. I only recently started following Jhene Aiko, maybe about 3 weeks ago. I followed her on Instagram, and I saw that picture of her and him when they were on the wall and they were looking at each other. I don't know whether you've seen it. If I can find it, I'll link it below. And I saw that picture and I thought, my gosh, if you let this go, you would be foolish, because the love that radiated from that picture is real. She's got a lot of spiritual energy around her, both from ancestors and people she knows that have passed over, wanting to see her happy and wanting to see her in love. And like I say, there is 100%, if not a marriage, an engagement for Jhene Aiko in 2 years, but there is also a pregnancy that is definitely there for her. And the next album, I do feel like it will do, I don't know if it will do like groundbreakingly well, or you know, where we're talking about Beyonce or Adele, but I do feel like it will do better than her previous albums and EPs have done, and it will be recognised by people in the industry as being, you know, groundbreaking. So that's all for Jhene Aiko. Very positive reading, which is always very nice. As always, remember to leave in the comments what you thought of the video, guys. I don't take leave what you want, honestly. I don't take it personally. You're entitled to your own opinion. I can only read what spirit tells me and what the cards say. If you disagree, you disagree. You can still leave it down below. I appreciate every comment, but thank you so much for all the love, all the support. Again, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing and who I'm reading for, and have your say on who I read for next, then please do follow me at I am Kirstie Lewis. And again, if you want to book a reading with me, then it's kirstieLewisreadings@outlook.com. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit a thumbs up if you like the video, and share it as well, because you know, some people don't realise that people do these kind of readings on YouTube. So remember to share so other people can enjoy the video as well. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for another video, lovelies. Bye.